Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So today we are going to kick things off with the laying down bicep curls. Obviously, it's an arm day. I've said this before. I like to keep them short, actually very, very intense. So we're going to do two exercises here: lying down bicep curls, and then we're going to do some dumbbell skull crushes, and then we're going to go over there and we're going to do superset. Well, three supersets technically, two exercises. Obviously, superset those exercises. I'm going to talk about that when I get over there. But for here, yeah, it's pretty simple. We're going to start. I've already warmed up my biceps, so it's pretty simple. We're just going to do 3 sets. The fourth set is probably going to be a drop set, and sort of go from there. I have talked about this exercise quite a lot, but I am going to do the first set just so I can sort of remind you and show you, especially to new people on the channel, what this exercise looks like. And then I'm going to talk about why it is as effective as I think it is and what it has done for me specifically. So with that being said, let's do the first set. Mm. Oh no. Ah, 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 oh, oh, oh. Woo. So pretty quickly, I'm just going to give you the reasons as to why this is actually so effective. When you do bicep curls and you're just standing up and you have your dumbbells and you just do bicep curls, forget the fact that there is actually a lot of momentum that you generate by rocking your body back and forth. But even if you have a very strict form, the issue with that exercise is that at the stretch position, so where your biceps have the most stretched, there is the least resistance is there, versus here, most of the resistance is where the bicep is actually at the stretch position. So this is extremely important when you do hypertrophy, because the stretch position is the most hypertrophic position that you can be in. So you want to have most of the resistance there, if not, the highest resistance at the stretch position. So bicep curls with dumbbells, when you just do them like that, here, there's technically really nothing happening at the biceps because obviously gravity does all the work. And that just sort of like explains where the resistance goes, because it's not that if you stop here, well, that's a little bit different. There is quite a lot of resistance there, but the problem then is that your bicep is not the most extended it can be. This is why exercises like the preset curl is actually very, very good for it. It obviously isolates the biceps, but it also puts all the resistance at the stretched position. But yeah, this is just another variation which actually goes that extra deep stretch, which is extremely good for hypertrophy and obviously putting on size. I'm not going to say that my biceps are necessarily a stubborn muscle to grow. They do grow, not very easy, but they do grow. But for me, the thing that made the difference to me is I saw this exercise online, and I did it, and then for days, in the future, so like for days ahead, my biceps were sore, and they were sore at the peak. Because usually when I do bicep curls, my biceps are sore here, not really at the peak. And with this exercise, my biceps were actually sore at the peak for days to come. I'm talking about like literally 2 days. I could feel the pit of my bicep pinching or being sore. And that wasn't because I wasn't doing biceps before. I was. But it was this exercise which was actually did that to my biceps. And that was a sort of deciding factor for me. I was like, okay, this exercise I'm going to have to do for years on end now because it really, really works. Now, I'm going to do the second set because I've talked for quite a while. And then I'm going to do one more with the same weight. And then the fourth set is going to be a drop set. I'll explain the reason of the drop set as well and sort of go from there because, as I said, I like keeping this high intense but relatively short workout. So yeah, let's do that and then go from there. Well, before I stand up, actually, you might have noticed that I don't actually go all the way down when all the way up. Actually, sorry, when I curl. So from here, I usually stop around here, and I don't like go all the way. I don't complete the curl. The reason is, and it obviously will vary from person to person, but you will know, right? So when you're down here and you're trying to curl, you'll feel that um after a certain point, all the resistance is literally gone from the biceps. So for me, it's around here. So here, this spot, this sort of range here, is where it's technically a dead spot for the bicep. There is nothing really going on the bicep because obviously, as I said, gravity is doing all the work really, right? So your shoulders are sort of taking care of that, and that's about balance. But nothing is really happening on the biceps. So for me, time under tension is very important. So I'm trying to keep my bicep under tension at all times. This is why I kill the range of motion around this point here, and then obviously all the way down, and then curl. And when you feel that your bicep is not doing anything anymore, just stop the range of motion. You're just wasting energy, and then bring it back down again. Obviously, this is the most important thing, like the extended position down there, and then here. Because anything like towards this point is kind of like it doesn't do as much. So I'd rather use this energy and focus it on the important part of the range of motion rather than less important. With that being said, we've done the third set. We are gonna grab some lighter dumbbells and do a quick drop set. So I think we're gonna go down to 8 kilos. Another thing, you don't really need to do a lot of weight here. Like I do 10 kilos. I could probably go up to 11. Problem is, I don't have a dumbbell that's 11 kilos. It goes to 12 and a half after that. And 12 and a half, I think, is just going to be a little bit too heavy for the amount of reps that I want to do. And also, you don't have to, the kind of exercise that you're doing here, because it isolates the muscles so good, you don't have to load it with weight. I think you're just going to injure yourself if you do so. So, with that being said, I'm gonna grab the eights and do a mini drop set. Oh, good enough. Right, I'm gonna warm up my triceps and then start the triceps. Oh, righty. So, let's begin the triceps. Uh, 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 uh. Oh, oh, oh. All right, two more and then a drop set. All right. Okay. One drop set here, and then we move. Right. Let's do our little drop set. I only went back down to 10 kilos, so from 12 and a half to 10. So I'm gonna start the supersets. I'm gonna move over that. We have Pritzer curl and then tricep push downs with an easy bar. And I think I'm gonna do 3 supersets. And then we can call it a day. That's pretty much it. So let's move over there. Righty, so supersets. We usually have 3 of them, so I'm gonna start with the biceps this time. I think on the second set, on the second superset, I'm gonna start with the triceps and then move back to the biceps. The reasoning behind this is it's actually pretty simple. if you're doing supersets, although you're training, although you're using different muscle groups, so obviously biceps and then triceps, you're still building up a systemic fatigue by doing biceps first, and then if you move to the triceps, you're not at 100% unless obviously you wait in between sets. But what's the point of a superset then? So I'm going to do biceps and then triceps, and then I'm going to start with triceps and then do biceps, the bicep curls here. And then the last set, we'll see what I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to go back to the biceps and then the triceps. But anyway, we have, what do we have? 25 kilos on the bar plus the bar, 32-ish kilos altogether. We're going to rep that one out, and then we're going to go and then we're going to do the triceps over there on the cables. So let's kick things off. Ah, well, that's good enough. Right. Tricep extensions. I've talked about that very quickly, but the bar has to be very, very close to your torso, almost touching at all times. Might be a bit better. So yeah, the bar has to be really close to your torso so you can really stretch the triceps. So with that being said, let's do the first set. Oh. Ah. 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 Well, I wasn't moving. Cool. Right, as promised, we're gonna start with the triceps, rip that one out, and then move to the biceps. So this is the second of the 3 supersets. Let's do it. Ah. Whoosh. Ah. Ah. Yes. Ah. Ah. Oh god. Ah. Yeah. Ah. 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 Woo. All right, and the last set. I'm not gonna lie to you, the pump at the moment is insane. I tried putting my headphones back on. It's hard to reach them when they're down here. So yeah, it's all good though. That's kind of what we want anyway. As I said, short but very intense, very high in intensity. And I just find that this is probably the best way to do it, especially for arms, because they can take the damage since they're smaller muscles than back, chest, legs specifically. But yeah, look, last superset. Triceps and we're done. My arms really do feel fried at the moment, especially the biceps. Oh my god. That's good. That's all we do it for. So let's do the last one. And then get the heck out of here. Oh, fuck me. Alright, we're done. Holy fuck. Oh, can't move my arms properly. The pump is real though. So yeah, that was a pretty good workout. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I always enjoy arms because obviously they're a bit less. How should I say this? They're a bit less. They take less out of you systematically. So what I mean by that is you don't need to allocate a lot of resources to do back. It's also not a very demanding sort of workout when it comes to your cardiovascular system. So at the end of it, you're not gassing for air. Compared to legs, back, chest, not so much, but back and legs, yeah. I usually find myself just gasping for that at the end of the workout. But yeah, arms is a bit different, obviously, and I feel the pump is. I'm telling you, if you want to grow your arms, my opinion, especially if you're intermediate to advanced, this is probably the best way to do it. And again, I'm not gonna back it up with any science or anything like that, but I'm just speaking from experience. 4 sets for biceps, four sets for triceps with a drop set on the fourth set. And then you come over here, you do your own stuff. But I mean, then you come and you do a superset. It's obviously going to be heavy to failure. Sometimes beyond if you can, so a couple of half reps as I did on the first few exercises. And that's going to grow your arms pretty well, because obviously then, as you've probably seen, when I do back, I do 3 sets of biceps at the end. When I do chest, I do 3 sets of triceps at the end. So there is quite a lot of volume throughout the week. And obviously, when you do chest, you're using triceps. When you do back, you're using biceps. Obviously, not as much, but you still use them. So it does count towards the weekly volume. But obviously, if you do a set of, let's say, I don't know, dumbbell presses, and you do 3 sets, let's say, right? You can't then say that I also did 3 sets of triceps, but you can say that I did a set of triceps in these 3 sets of presses on the weekly volume, if this makes sense. You can add it up that way. So yeah, look, we're done for now. Tomorrow is rest day. Day after, we start all this again with chest or back, we'll see. I think it's probably going to be back, chest, and then back, chest. How should I do this? Probably back first, yeah, because it's more demanding, isn't it? Then chest, and then some sort of shoulders, or we'll see. We'll see. I don't really have a plan. We'll see. Well, I'll see you all later.